What if I told you that one of the most controversial books ever written was hidden away for over 70 years because it was deemed too dangerous to publish? What if this book contained a conversation between Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, and the devil himself, revealing the exact strategies evil uses to control human minds? In 1938, Napoleon Hill wrote Outwitting the Devil, but it wasn't published until 2011. Why? Because Hill's own family believed it was too provocative, too revealing of the dark forces that keep us trapped in mediocrity. Today, we're diving deep into this forbidden masterpiece that exposes the devil's greatest weapon against human success, and more importantly, how to defeat it. Napoleon Hill wasn't just any author. He was a man obsessed with understanding success. Born in 1883 in a one-room cabin in rural Virginia, Hill spent over 20 years interviewing more than 500 of the world's most successful people, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison. But Outwitting the Devil came from a different place entirely. After publishing Think and Grow Rich in 1937, Hill experienced a period of profound personal crisis. His marriage was failing, his finances were in ruins, and he was battling his own inner demons. It was during this dark night of the soul that Hill claims he had this extraordinary encounter. What makes this book revolutionary isn't just its content. It's Hill's raw honesty about his own struggles with what he calls drifting. This wasn't written from a place of triumph, but from the trenches of personal defeat, making its insights even more powerful. The book is structured as an imaginary interview between Hill and the devil, where Hill essentially puts evil itself on trial. But here's what's brilliant. The devil in this story isn't some supernatural being with horns and pitchforks. Instead, Hill presents him as a master psychologist who understands human nature better than we understand ourselves. The devil reveals his most powerful tool, getting people to drift through life without definite purpose or plans. According to the devil, 98% of people are drifters. They react instead of act, follow instead of lead, and accept whatever life hands them instead of taking control. The devil explains, I control all drifters. They are putty in my hands because they have no definite plans of their own. They build up nothing, they tear down much. Hill then forces the devil to reveal how humans can break free from his control through 7 key principles. First, definite purpose. The devil admits his greatest fear: people who know exactly what they want and why they want it. A definite purpose acts like a force field against negative influences. Second, mastery over self, self-discipline, and emotional control. The devil thrives on people who are slaves to their emotions, habits, and impulses. Third, learning from adversity. Every failure, every setback, every crisis contains the seed of equivalent benefit, if you're willing to look for it and learn from it. Fourth, controlling environmental influences. Your environment, the people you associate with, the books you read, the content you consume, shapes your thoughts. The devil works through negative influences in your environment. Fifth, time management. How you use your time reveals your priorities. Drifters waste time. Successful people invest it purposefully. Sixth, harmony. Living in harmony with natural laws and universal principles. This includes maintaining positive mental attitudes and constructive relationships. Seventh, caution. Not recklessness, but thoughtful consideration. The devil loves impulsive people who make decisions based on emotion rather than reason. Throughout the interview, the devil reveals that the human mind is the primary battlefield. He doesn't need to tempt people with obvious evils. Instead, he works through fear, doubt, indecision, and procrastination. His greatest victories come not from dramatic falls, but from keeping people paralyzed in indecision. The devil explains, fear is my weapon. I make people afraid of poverty, afraid of criticism, afraid of ill health, afraid of loss of love, afraid of old age, afraid of death. If I can keep them in fear, I will control them completely. One of the book's most startling revelations is that we're constantly receiving mental broadcasts from our environment. The Devil explains that most people are merely reflecting the dominant thoughts of their social circles, media consumption, and cultural environment. Life lesson from Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Take inventory of what you're feeding your mind. Are you deliberately choosing positive, constructive input, or are you passively absorbing whatever happens to be around you? The Devil repeatedly emphasizes his powerlessness over people with burning, definite purposes. Why? Because purpose creates focus, and focus creates power. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, your mind automatically filters opportunities and solutions toward that goal. But here's the key. It must be your purpose, not something imposed by family, society, or circumstances. The Devil thrives on people living other people's dreams. Hill forces the Devil to admit that temporary defeat is not permanent failure. In fact, the Devil reveals that his greatest concern is people who learn from their setbacks, because each lesson makes them stronger and wiser. Life lessons from Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill include this crucial insight. Every adversity carries with it the seed of equivalent advantage. Your job is to find that seed and plant it. The book reveals that most people don't actually think. They merely rearrange their prejudices. True thinking means examining ideas, questioning assumptions, and reaching independent conclusions. The Devil admits, as long as I can keep people from thinking for themselves, I can control them. The moment they begin to think independently, they become dangerous to my cause. Hill emphasizes the power of surrounding yourself with like-minded, success-oriented people. The Devil reveals that isolation and negative associations are among his most effective tools. When you align with others who share your definiteness of purpose, you create a mastermind, a collective intelligence greater than the sum of its parts. Outwitting the Devil has several remarkable strengths. Unlike his earlier works, Hill doesn't sugarcoat the struggle. He admits his own failures and the difficulty of applying success principles consistently. The book provides actionable insights into how our minds can work against us and specific strategies to regain control. Written in 1938, its warnings about mental drift and environmental influence are more relevant than ever in our age of information overload and social media manipulation. The interview style makes complex philosophical concepts accessible and engaging. However, the book does have some limitations. The Devil framework may be off-putting to some readers, though Hill clearly intended it as metaphor rather than literal theology. Some concepts are repeated multiple times, which can feel redundant for careful readers. Some references to 1930s culture and technology don't resonate with modern audiences. It's also written from a distinctly male viewpoint that may not fully address women's experiences with societal constraints. Despite these limitations, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill remains powerfully relevant because it addresses universal human struggles: fear, procrastination, lack of direction, and the tendency to drift through life reactively rather than proactively. In our current era of infinite distractions and manufactured outrage, Hill's warnings about mental control and the importance of definite purpose feel prophetic. The book provides a roadmap for mental independence in an age of information warfare. Here's the most powerful takeaway from Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. You are not a victim of circumstances, genetics, or even your own past mistakes. You are exactly where your dominating thoughts have brought you, and you could be exactly where your future thoughts will take you. The Devil's greatest power lies not in temptation, but in getting you to drift, to live without purpose, to react instead of act, to accept mediocrity as inevitable. But the moment you decide to live with a definite purpose, to think for yourself, and to take control of your mental environment, you break free from that control. Life lessons from Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill challenge us to ask, what forces are you allowing to control your thoughts? What definite purpose drives your daily actions? Are you drifting, or are you deliberately creating the life you want? The battle for your mind is real, and it's happening right now. If this deep dive into Napoleon Hill's forbidden masterpiece opened your eyes to new possibilities, Hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing book breakdowns. Share this video with someone who needs to stop drifting and start living with purpose. What's your definite purpose? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, remember, the only person who can defeat the devil in your mind is you.